I'm Gwynne. I'm a data strategist at 173 Tech. My job is to sort of be the voice of the client. So I am the person that sits outside of the projects most often. I think about the overall goals that we've talked about, normally in the planning and implementation stage and the initial sort of sales calls that we have with them. And then while the team, who are obviously very technical, might get a little bit lost or get down a rabbit hole, I'm the one that sort of brings them back up and says, remember what's important to the client, remember how we're going to create value for this client, and keeps everybody on track.
Great. What got you into data?
So I was always really interested in growth, in how do you grow a company. And so very naturally, I started my career for 10 years in marketing, specifically growth marketing. And then I got really interested in, okay, how can I do things in a sustainable way? How can I do things in a repeatable way? And that led me very naturally to process and process improvement and understanding how do you implement those processes so that things are repeatable. And then from processes, obviously my next natural thought was, well, how do you inform those processes? And it was data. And so I was working with a client, and basically my way of working was to go in and implement things like the LTV, the predictions already there, but I was doing them in an Excel way. And then somebody said to me, you're basically doing data. This is what you're sort of implementing right now. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. I hadn't really considered the fact that there's a better way of doing this. And so moving from Excel macros to SQL was my sort of journey of getting interested in data.
And what have you learned in the past few years at 173?
I've learned too much.
Oh, right, okay.
I scare myself sometimes. I'll be in a conversation with somebody talking about multi-tenancy setups for Metabase or something, and I'll be like, how did I learn that? When did that knowledge come into my head? But yeah, I learned so much on a day-to-day basis about like technical stuff, but also just how different businesses work. The great thing with an agency is you're always working with different kind of companies, different kind of people, different kind of problems. And so it's always new ways of working, new ways of thinking about problems.